Okay, so today I'm taking you to a DC neighborhood where you probably wouldn't expect to find new construction condos in. This neighborhood is known for its large single family homes, its large backyards, and quiet streets. Not new construction condos with quartz countertops and open concept layouts, but somehow that's exactly what's popping up in this DC neighborhood. And it's quite interesting. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to take you to these new developments, and then we're going to answer the big question. Are these new construction condos going to be a new trend in this DC neighborhood, or is it just a one-off event? I don't know. So stay tuned because this one might surprise you. So here's the thing. When you think about new construction condos in DC, Woodridge is probably the last neighborhood that comes to mind. It's right here in Northeast, right next to Brookland. So in my opinion, it's sort of Brookland's quieter, more low-key sibling. Good bones, great charm, but it's just not on the same level as Brookland when it comes to amenities, restaurants, retail, foot traffic, and things of that nature. Now, don't get me wrong. Woodridge is a great neighborhood. In fact, people love Woodridge and they're drawn to this neighborhood because it's one of the few suburban-like neighborhoods in DC. You know, huge single family homes, huge lots. And I'm talking 6,000 square feet plus, which is very rare in DC. So that makes it even more surprising that right here off Rhode Island Avenue, which is a part of DC that hasn't seen much going on for years. It's more of a pass-through stretch as opposed to an actual destination point for people because you don't have a lot of amenities on this section of Rhode Island Avenue. With the exception of a few local neighborhood restaurants and coffee shops, there's not much to do around here. I mean, you have the post office, commercial establishments, but there's not a lot to do around here, which even makes it more surprising that we have new construction condos being built here. Now, the neighborhoods where you would expect to see that are your already established neighborhoods like Columbia Heights, Petworth, DuPont Circle, Logan Circle, Shaw, because there's a lot more to do. I mean, nightlife, restaurants, coffee shops, very walkable, parks, etc. But I'm guessing you can only build so much in those neighborhoods until eventually you start to run out of space, right? Because you can only build so much. And then you have to start looking for new opportunities in neighborhoods like Woodridge. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to be looking at this building right here. In fact, we're going to be looking at two buildings. So we're going to start off with this one. We're going to look at multiple units at different prices in both buildings. And what's actually a coincidence is one of the only coffee shops, I think, on Rhode Island Avenue, which is Zeke's Coffee. That's actually the truck that I'm standing right in front of. And that was not planned. That's just a pure coincidence. So anyway, let's check out this building and see what the pricing is looking like. So this building actually used to be a school, and you can tell by the design, it has that schoolhouse look from the early 1900s. Right here, I'm not sure what's going on. This might be set aside for parking for the building. Not really sure what's going on, but as you can see, we're right off Rhode Island Avenue, right? So let's go in and check this out. And when you go further down, the rest of that is, just single family homes. Okay, so there are a total of 9 units in this building, 2 floors. So let's start off with, we're gonna start off with a 1-bedroom unit. So this is a 1-bedroom, 1-bath priced at $399,000. It's about 671 square feet. So let's check it out. Bright and sunny. Right here we've got our coat closet, standard white oak floors. And this is your dining, kitchen, and living room combo. So I love these windows. So these actually open, but I don't think they open all the way. You could just slightly crack them, get the smell of, food out. Man, has anyone figured out how to get the smell of food out of your home when you're, when you cook. I mean, I've tried everything. I've tried opening windows, everything, but I just hate when we cook and the entire home just smells like food. It's just, and then your clothes start smelling like food also. I mean, if you have coats in a coat closet, all the smell of the food just seeps in there. So if anybody knows, a tool or something, I don't know, put it in the comments, please. I'll be very grateful. Because that is just like a thorn in my side. Anyway, we've got the recessed lighting. We've got these nice pendant lights right above the island, dishwasher. They went with the electric stove. Of course, white shaker cabinets, quartz countertops. For appliances, we've got Samsung. And in this closet, I'm assuming is our laundry closet. And look at that. These are pretty huge. This is a huge washer and dryer set. Not bad. This is what you see in like actual houses, like 3,000, 4,000 square foot homes. So I can appreciate the fact that they didn't go with one of the extra small, like stackables where you can barely even fit a comforter in there. So great value add. So over here is our bedroom, and I actually like this little nook right here. Okay, so we've got the light right there. You can store whatever you want, right? So I say this all the time. I just love when you could take something as boring as a wall and just make it into something creative, right? That makes it visually appealing to look at and also functional as well, right? So our bedroom. Let's see what the closet space looks like. Okay, not bad. Bathroom, they went with a tub for this one. You've got the mirror with the LED lights and the fog prevention. Okay. If we took this unit and dropped it in like a Petworth or a Columbia Heights, probably going to be paying around $420 to $450 depending on what block you're on in those neighborhoods. If you're closer to the metro, might be a little bit in that mid 400 range. If you're further away from the metro, you might be looking at the low 400. So this unit is pretty comparable. It's slightly lower than what you might find in a DuPont Circle or a Columbia Heights, right? But the price isn't drastically lower. And I'm assuming because that's, new construction. And also this part of Rhode Island Avenue is further away from the metro, but we're still only about a 10 to 15 minute drive from downtown DC and the rest of the city. So it's not completely isolated. So anyway, let's check out another unit across the hall. So this unit is also on the ground floor. This is going to be a 3-bedroom, 2-bath unit, about 1,300 square feet, priced at $750,000. 3-bedroom, 2-bath. So on this wing of the unit, we have our kitchen and our living and dining. And then on this side, we have all the bedrooms and utility closets, bathrooms. So same concept, as you can see, everything's just copy and paste. Only difference is this is a bigger unit with assumably more storage space, right? So, you could sort of set up the living, your living room right here, dining probably in the corner closer to the kitchen, and same finishes right throughout. This one just has a bit of a larger island, same pendant lights, cabinets, and also the quartz countertops. Although this one does seem to have more storage space. See, we've got sort of a mini pantry right here. Same concept, electric stove, Samsung appliances. And this unit also has way more windows, which brings in, of course, more natural light. Over here, we've got utility closet. Okay, this is our storage. Okay, good amount of storage. Over here is the utility closet and the good sized stackable. This would be our first bedroom. We've got a closet right here. Full bathroom. And then this is the second bedroom, which is a tad bit larger than the first. And this is our main bedroom. Got a walk-through closet, and this would be our bathroom. Can't get that open. Okay, I'm 100% sure this is the bathroom, but I can't get this door open. I don't want to break it. Okay. So, I mean, to be honest, I'm quite shocked that the price of this is $750,000. And a lot of times when I post these homes, the prices do change. So if I post a home, especially in the current market condition we're in, homes sell for less than what I post them at all the time. So I'm a little shocked that this is going for $750,000. I'm predicting this is most likely going to sell somewhere in the mid to high $600,000 range. You know, I just don't think Woodridge has that high of a demand for condos. Now, if you're someone who's looking for a condo and you don't want to be in a neighborhood as dense as Columbia Heights or Shaw or even DuPont Circle, I mean, Woodridge might be a great option. I just haven't seen a ton of sales in Woodridge for condos like this to be really confident to say that this is actually going to sell at $750,000. I mean, I don't think the pricing is too far off because again, this is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, and it's over 1,300 square feet. So, I mean, who knows? This is the first of its kind that's actually being offered in this neighborhood. So if there's someone out there who likes the peace and quiet of Woodridge, you know, it might be a good deal. So let's head over to the next building and see what those units look like in comparison to this one. So we're taking a look at the second building, still right here off Rhode Island Avenue. It's like 2 blocks up. Took me about 2 minutes to walk and get up here. So let's talk about the actual amenities that are on Rhode Island Avenue, because I don't want to make it seem like this place is just completely isolated, because it's rare to find a neighborhood in DC that's completely isolated. So first off, on Rhode Island Avenue, you've got Rita's ice cream and frozen custard. And I've driven past this place for years, but somehow I've just never stopped by to actually check it out. So if anybody's ever been there, you could put that in the comments to let me know how good it is or not. I'm sure it's pretty good. And right next to that, you have Zeke's Coffee, which is a local DC-based coffee shop with multiple locations in the DC area. And right next to that, you've got His and Hers, which serves Southern-style comfort food. And their only location is right here in the Woodridge neighborhood. So you know they're probably the real deal. And then across the street, you've got Provost, which serves amazing soul food made with organic ingredients. Again, another neighborhood favorite, with their only location being right here in the neighborhood. And they're probably also the real deal as well. So you've got quite a few local neighborhood favorite businesses in the neighborhood. You know, it's not flooded with amenities, but you've got quite a few options to pick from if you wanted some good food, some good coffee, some good ice cream. And hey, maybe when all the units in this building sell out and the other building, these local businesses might get more foot traffic. So we're going to be checking out units in this building. We're going to be looking at 2 units. So let's go in and see how they stack up on price and also the features compared to the first building. So as we can see, residential neighborhood, right? This is not your typical neighborhood where you're going to see 10 and 20 condo buildings. Over there on the hill, those are all houses. And this is the building right here. So let's go in and check them out.
Welcome, please come in.
Okay. So this is our lobby area. They've got this lounge sitting area right here. They've also got this bar area over here. And I like the tile. You got a mirror, I guess. One last look at your outfit before you head out for the day. Now, this building actually has, there are 9 units in this building. They have an elevator, right? But I think the elevator is currently out of service. I'm pretty sure that's going to be up and running by the time all the units sell. So this is the first unit we're going to be taking a look at. It's a 3-bedroom, 2.5 bathroom, 1,400 square foot unit priced at $650,000. Now, there are multiple units in this building, but I'm only going to be showing you 2 because all the units aren't for sale. It's just these 2. So right as we walk in, different layout to the first one. You can't really see the whole unit. You walk in and to the right, you've got the coat closet and also your powder room. On this wing of the unit, you've got bedroom, and that's your living area with, of course, your kitchen. And on this side, you've got additional bedrooms. So let's start off with the main area first, work our way back. So they went with vinyl floors in this apartment. This is just our utility closet. So yeah, we've got sort of a different layout going on right here. I think I actually prefer this layout for some reason. They've got windows right across the wall, so it gives you a lot of light. And really, really quiet neighborhood, quiet street. So this unit is actually priced $100,000 less than the 3-bedroom, 2-bath that we saw in the previous building, 2 blocks up. And it looks larger. Got the LG appliances. Electric stove. Got a decent amount of cabinet space. Okay. Got additional seating right here under the island. So yeah, I really love this layout because, you don't feel cramped. Now, if you're a builder who's watching this video, all right, if you just happen to stumble across this video, I'll tell you, for me, as a realtor working with clients, anytime I show them condos with, these new layouts that I'm starting to see in a lot of new construction condo units, where you have the kitchen right up against the wall, right? And right across from the kitchen, you have like your living area. People hate those layouts, myself included, because it's just not functional at all. You can literally sit on your couch and you can reach into the sink. It's just, I don't like them. So, take my advice for what it is. When you're building these units, don't build units with those layouts because people just don't like them. Every time I show somebody a unit that looks like that, they just walk right out. They're not interested in even looking at it, right? So, in my experience, people just aren't fans of those layouts. And I like you've got a decent amount of countertop space, which is nice. Okay. So let's head over to the other wing of the unit. This is our first bedroom. Feels nice and cozy. Where's the closet? Okay, here we go. closet space right there. And I like this area that you know, when you walk into the unit, you're not walking into your main area. You have this area where you can kind of put your keys and your wallet, and you just leave everything right here. Because if you're anything like me, when you get home, you just put your keys and your wallet anywhere. And then when it's time to go back out, you can't find your keys and you can't find your wallet. And then you start blaming other people for taking up your keys and taking up your wallet. So if you know what I mean, you know, you don't want to be that guy. So second bedroom, closet. Now, these aren't the largest bedrooms, but they, you know, just feel very, very cozy and homey, you know. And over to the left, you've got a good size stackable here. And how I judge these washing machines is good or not is if you can you actually fit a comforter in there. You know, if I'm buying a place and it's the washing machine is so small that I'm gonna have to take my comforters to a laundromat, I don't know if I want that. So here we've got, it's a water heater, and that could be some additional storage space right there. And this is our first full bathroom. We've got the mirror with the LED lights and anti-fogging mechanisms. And I haven't seen these tubs in a while in new construction buildings. These days I'm starting to see, I don't know what you call those tubs, where they're a little bit higher. Me personally, I'm not a fan. I have one of those in my home, and every time I go in the shower, it's just, when I first moved in, I always like hit my shin against the tub. And it was just a constant reminder, listen, you gotta pick those knees up if you don't want to get bruised and banged up. And this would be our main bedroom, which is the largest bedroom. This is actually a king size bed. And then we've got a walk-in closet and a full bath. So love how quiet the neighborhood is. Let's check out our closet. So this is even actually a larger closet than the condo that we looked at for $750 in that other building. I'm just shocked that this is $100,000 less. And it seems to be offering more value. You've got dual vanity sink, nice large mirror with the LED lights. They went with a walk-in shower here as opposed to a tub. Yeah, so I prefer the flow of this unit, quite frankly, to the first one. Let's just look at this one more time, and then I'm gonna take you upstairs to the second unit for this building. So someone left a dollar right there. Is a dollar not valuable enough? Okay, so there are actually multiple units in this building for sale. But a lot of times builders don't just put, if they build a building with 9 units, they're not gonna put all 9 units on the market at the same time. So it's only 2 on the market right now, that one and the other one I'm gonna show you. Same thing with the other building. There are 9 in that building and only 2 were on the market. Is that safe? There's no railing right there. Huh. Okay, so let's head up the stairs because elevator is not in working order as yet. So the next unit we're going to be looking at is a 3-bed, 2-bath, 1,100 square foot unit priced at $550,000. So remember, we just took a look at a unit in another building just down the street that was a 3-bed, 2-bath at $750,000, and this is a 3-bed, 2-bath at $550,000. So let's check it out. So this one has a different layout. When you walk in, you kind of have, you know, a view of the entire space, which is not a good or a bad thing. It just comes down to personal preference. So I'm assuming this unit is priced $100,000 lower than the first one because it's 300 square feet less. So this is 1,100 square feet. The first was 1,400. Same finishes as that unit. We've got our electric stove, all LG appliances. And let me know down below, which units do you prefer? Do you prefer this one or do you prefer the one on the first floor? So our living area with these large expansive windows. First full bath. So, I mean, who said you couldn't have condo living in a suburban neighborhood? You know, so living in a I mean, this is proof that living in a condo doesn't always mean that you have to wake up to city noises and, you know, traffic and all that stuff that comes with living in the city. Look at that. Nice, quiet. You've got greenery. It's bedroom 2. Let's see what we have here. Utility closet and laundry. And then we've got 2 bedrooms. So let's check this one out. Lots of natural sunlight. You've got space in that corner for a chest to drawer or a dresser. Okay. Not bad. Closet space, not bad. And then across the hall, you've got the main. Then goes our bathroom, full bath with the stand-in shower. Yeah, this is really nice. Really nice. So let's answer the big question. Is this a new trend we're going to see moving forward in the Woodridge neighborhood? New condominium buildings going up everywhere. And in my opinion, the answer to that is most likely not. And that's because the majority of the Woodridge neighborhood is zoned for residential development only. The only reason why we see these two condo buildings right off Rhode Island Avenue popping up is because Rhode Island Avenue is a commercial corridor, and the DC zoning code allows for this sort of development. So seeing that we're right off the Rhode Island Avenue corridor, I'm pretty sure these lots were zoned for residential and commercial building as well. Now, if we went further into the Woodridge neighborhood, further away from Rhode Island Avenue, you're not going to see any condos. The neighborhood is filled with beautiful single family homes and a few row homes here and there. So that's what gives Woodridge its character and why people are attracted to this neighborhood, because it's mostly residential with lots of greenery, and it's not as dense as many other DC neighborhoods. So no, we're not going to see a ton of condos popping up in Woodridge because DC has very strict zoning laws, right? You can't just build whatever you want wherever you want. You know, you're not going to see a bunch of 20-unit condo buildings popping up in Woodridge because majority of the neighborhood is not zoned for that. So I strongly believe Woodridge is going to continue to retain its original charm for the foreseeable future. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the tours of these units. And always remember, if you're looking to buy or sell a home in the DC metro area, including Maryland and Virginia, remember, you could always feel free to give me a call, shoot me a text, send me an email. All my contact details are pinned in the comments and also in the description. Until next time, I'll catch you in the next neighborhood.